Hello there folks, a very warm welcome to you all. James here once again with you, and I'm just out for a bit of fresh air in the lovely Northamptonshire countryside, and I've stopped off a little way from home at the Brampton Valley Way, and I'm just in a small sort of picnic area, and the Brampton Valley Way is or was a railway in fact, and it is now a lovely cycleway and basically a trail for whatever you want to do really, cycling, walking, horse riding, and it is very well established. It was the Northampton to Market Harbour line up until the 1980s, I believe, and part of, I'll just refer to my notes, part of the London and North Western Railway, and as I say, it has long since been shut to rail traffic, and in about 1993 I believe it was opened as a nicely paved, surfaced route, and it does actually form part of the national cycle route network, which is organised by Sustrans, and this is part of their Route 6 in the UK. So if you want to do a section off-road and have a nice easy flat section to your journey, then this is the place to be, because it literally does run along the bottom of a valley, so it's nice and flat and sheltered. It makes for a very pleasant situation to travel in. So a couple of things whilst we're here. A little bit of a shout out to another James, and he's the smoking Mr. Rhubarb from the north of the UK, and he posted a video, very good video in fact, recently on his visit to the mysmokingshop.co.uk premises, which was wonderful, and was a feast for the eyes, with all sorts of delightful things, pipes and cigars, and during his video he happened to mention Ennerdale Flake, and it's something purely by coincidence I was going to talk to you about briefly, and just give a few of my impressions of it. And I was very lucky to be in the Lake District on a short break during October, and I did indeed manage to pick up some of the stuff. So Ennerdale by Gawith Hoggarth is actually part of their Kendal series of tobaccos, and they are indeed based in Kendal, and I had hoped to arrange a visit to the factory and warehouse where all the blending's done, but unfortunately I didn't really get round to that, so perhaps another time I shall arrange a visit there and perhaps take you with me. So yes, Ennerdale Flake, I had been meaning to try it for a long time, and wasn't sure if I would like it or not, so the only way you can find out is to try, and this is indeed what I'm smoking now in a nice little well, actually it's not little, it's a fairly large bowl. It is one of my Blakemar briars, and it is a sweet pipe, so it has had Eremore flake, it has had chocolate blends, all that sort of thing through it, so I thought it might be, it's fairly well ghosted with all sorts, but I thought Ennerdale can't possibly make it any worse, hopefully. And luckily so far I am enjoying the stuff fairly well, and I was sort of commenting on James's video that to me I get Turkish Delight and Parma Violet initially. It's quite strong, and the toppings I believe are sort of almond, vanilla, and that sort of thing. Sort of added fruits. There's a citrus flavour there too. Probably the Virginias, I would think. It is a Virginia Burley blend, the Burley being most suited to absorbing all the flavourings. So yes, it's a strange one, admittedly, to put your finger on a particular sort of nuance, but that's what I get from it. So Turkish Delight and Parma Violet, and luckily, as does James, I actually rather like those two things, and it sort of triggers off a few little memories of big bags of sweets containing some Parma Violet, sort of it's like a chalky sort of sweet. I don't know whether, I think Parma Violet is a flavour that appears in other things also. I don't know much about it, but it's very unique, very floral, and indeed it is a very floral blend. But I like it, and this particular tin, it is a broken flake, and it is a fairly sort of medium to dark flake. It looks very nice. I haven't actually got any with me, apart from what's in the pipe, because I've actually jarred up the open tin. But anyway, it is a very good quality flake, I would say, as is to be expected from Gawith Hoggarth, and is a little on the moist side, so a little bit of drying is required, but initially it is very strong, and it does sort of give the impression of being rather overpowering, but if you sort of give it maybe a quarter into the bowl, I would say, this mellows out a bit and the flavours are still there, and you get that sort of the hint of all these things, but it does calm down a bit, and it's quite a nice quality smoke. And it's quite consistent. There's a tractor going by, just to add to the we are in the country obviously here at the moment, disappearing up the hill there. So yes, it is rather pleasant, and I am enjoying it, and I probably will have some more at some point when I fancy something a little sweet, and it is likened to the other so-called floral Lakeland blends, e.g. Condor, Bruno, that sort of thing, but I don't sort of really think it, for me, I get an entirely different experience from it. Bruno is nowhere near as heavily cased, in my opinion, and although I see the sort of that sort of similarity is drawn from its sort of almost soapy, people say, kind of flavourings. I can see that, but for me this is quite different, and I'm enjoying it so far. So yes, that is Ennerdale Flake, and I purchased this. We stayed actually in a nice little village, and fairly closely by, in a fairly sort of reasonable sized town. There was indeed a lovely little shop, which was mainly a newsagent's, but also a fishing bait and tackle shop, and also, importantly, a very small scale tobacconist, and there were a few pipes in the window, and luckily within a nice little selection of tin tobacco. So that was very pleasing to find, and as I say, I'd had hoped to get to the Gawith and Hoggarth main premises, but that'll be for another time. So yes, a nice situation in which to purchase some tobacco, and most enjoyable so far. So, whilst I'm here, the Piper's Hat giveaway, which is going along rather nicely. Quite a few of you have entered, and I'm most grateful for that. It's been wonderful to hear about people's hats, and of all different kinds of varieties, and this is kind of what I hoped. So it has been most entertaining, and I appreciate it greatly. So we shall be doing a draw, or well, I should be doing a draw on the it's a Sunday, the just refer to my notes here, what did I say, beginning of December. So if you intend to do a VR and be entered, I think probably I shall close it on the Friday, the 1st of the month, and then I shall probably do the drawing on the Sunday, as I'm available and around to do that. So as I say, please feel free to put up a VR and show us your hats, and you may be able to win a lovely Blakemire Briar poker, and some other things too, which I shall keep under wraps at this stage. So I greatly look forward to that, and so I think that just about covers it for now. The light's getting rather low. We've had rather a lot of rain. It's typically autumnal, fairly seasonal and chilly, which is quite pleasant, but not too bad to be out. And I'm just going to take myself off for a nice little stroll, and so with that, I shall say keep the cameras rolling, keep the pipes puffing, and cheerio.